So just take a moment, just to visualize. You going back home right now to Zimbabwe or to whichever country you're from, to the rural areas. You get there, and mom says, "All we're having this morning is porridge. No cereal, no milk, no sugar, just porridge." You see the pain maybe you don't even want to think about it because you're like, I wouldn't eat porridge. Well, if that's all you're going to eat all morning, you will be thinking about that porridge later on. I said loyalty, right? So lack of loyalty. And also lack of trust. When you don't trust, it's hard to sacrifice. Now, when parents sacrifice to their kids, it's because they trust that at some point this child will recognize and realize the effort that I went through, the effort that I put in for them to have everything that they have. For me to look the way I look today, I know exactly where it came from. It didn't come from my bank account. It came from my mother's teaching. The woman taught me how to pray. And with prayer, you can accomplish so much beyond what you can even think in your mind, just with prayer alone. Now, this is the very same God who gave his only begotten Son, knowing that not everyone was going to sit there and acknowledge this huge sacrifice. Not everyone was going to sit there and appreciate this sacrifice that God had made. But at some point, he entrusted that this sacrifice was going to yield good result, because here we are. We're sitting here and we're testifying. Not only are we testifying, but we're trying to build a strong enough relationship with God to know that it is our duty to get out there, to share of how good our God is, and to eventually encourage someone to come along. Now, this kind of ties in with Taffy's sermon last week, which was, who's behind you? Right. So that topic, it got me thinking, because I was sitting back there and I was like, well, I'm in the house of God. I'm doing something right. I'm righteous in the eyes of the Lord. And then she said, but what if you get to heaven and God says, who did you bring with you? And if you didn't bring anyone, you pretty much don't qualify to come into heaven. Now, that had me thinking throughout the whole week, along with the nervousness of being up here, because I saw her when I walked in today. She was laughing. She was literally giggling every 2 minutes. And I said, Taffy, what's so funny? She said, yeah, you're going to be up there. You're going to stand in the front. You're going to feel it. And I said, you're not helping. You're not helping, because it's not easy to stand in front of people. I talk a lot. Gary, You see, so I talk a lot. And when you stand up here, before I came today, I actually thought I had it together, I had a nice PowerPoint presentation. And I was like, yeah, I've got this. And then this morning I woke up, I said to my wife, I don't think I can do it. And she said, no, you've got this. You've got this. She was laughing as well. Now, when she was laughing, I was like, yeah, she knows this is going to be a struggle for me. Because when you come up here, all your ideas, they fall apart. And the way God works is so mysterious, because sometimes you come up with all these ideas, but if it's not coming directly from God, he's going to change it. So on the drive here, I'm seeing things, and those things are speaking to me, and I'm like, these things are distracting me. I have this sermon planned in my head, and these things are just trying to give me new ideas, which are just going to throw me off. Because when you have a plan, and then something comes in, which is not really in that plan that you've set, you get lost. So I said lack of loyalty, lack of trust. All right? And the other thing is fear. So fear of embarrassment. Sometimes we are scared to make a sacrifice because we are scared of the embarrassment that will come when you get nothing out of it. Now, when dealing with things of God, I don't think anyone can stand here and say, if I sacrifice to this God, what if I get nothing? How dare you? If God gave his only begotten son, and you're going to stand there and say, but what if I follow this God and I get nothing? God gave his son. And there are still some people out there who are walking around who do not know who God's son is. Who do not even know or want to acknowledge that there is a God out there. But the moral of the story is, it's not about you. The other thing is fear of betrayal. If right now I came up to you and I said, I have a business idea. I woke up to Gary and I said, Gary, because I know he's my friend, so you are my friend. And I woke up to him and I said, Gary, I have a business idea. I have something which I believe in. Right? And this something requires your hard-earned cash. I'm not going to say it like that because that will just, I'll say, and this something requires a small input. And that small input is about $500. Now, Gary is going to think, first of all, that's a lot of money, 1. 2, I have a baby. I have a wife. I have a life. And you want $500 of my hard-earned cash. You see, he doesn't even know what that thing is. But maybe there is such a great reward in him just doing this. Because at that point, he's like, it's not about me here. Especially if he hears it's a God thing. You give me if it's a God thing, right? If I say I'm trying to invest in my own church, as you can see. I want to start my own church. I'm sure you give me the money. All right. But what I'm trying to point out here is this. The natural instinct of a human being is to start thinking, my child, my hard-earned living, what if there's nothing out of it? So the human instinct will just automatically kick in. It's okay to do that. It's okay to be like that. It's fine. That's how God designed us to be. That means your brains are working the way they're supposed to work. But the truth of the matter here is I'm here to talk and to drill in the meaning of sacrifice, that it has to be in all of us. To be that selfless at some point, to give that what is dear to you, to God, because he is worthy of it. He deserves it. And then the other thing was fear of regret. Us, when I say us, I mean Africans, we're very good at telling you, I told you. When things don't go the right way, it's almost like we're always waiting for that person to fall, and then you're like, you see, I told him. He's believing in this business of preaching. Preaching has no money. Now, we see Rev standing here. The man always has a smile on his face, as if he doesn't have problems. But one day I sat there and I looked at him and I said, if this is his only way of getting paid in this world, then things must be hard. Because he doesn't have that huge congregation like T.D. Jakes. This is his only source of income. And sometimes, we don't have much to give. And the man stands here because I know he firmly believes it's not about him. The God who he serves, and he always says it, the God who he serves will carry him through. So if you give whatever it is that is so dear to you, believe me, God will not let you fall down. You will not run out of this cash which is so dear to you. You will not run out of this time which is so dear to you. The same hope that parents have in their kids, God has that same hope in you. So God knows when you make that sacrifice, you have done it from the innermost, deepest part of your heart. And he will not let you down. So you don't have to worry about People saying, I told you. You don't have to worry about the embarrassment. Because even if it's not about you, God will not let you down. So what validates a sacrifice? I'm going to get us to do something so simple, which I know we don't do so often. I'm going to get you to look around to whoever's on the left and to the right-hand side of you and just say thank you. Sometimes that's all that someone needs to hear. Just say thank you. You don't know what they've done to be here. You don't know what they've done to be here this morning. Just say thank you. Now that's one of the main things which validates a sacrifice. And how often do we say that to God every day? Sometimes you can go the whole day and you say, I forgot to pray. You get out of bed, your body remembers to work. Just one day, let your body forget how to work. When you wake up, you are alive, but your arms don't know how to work. Your legs don't know how to work. Watch how you freak out. I'll share a quick story. Quick story, because my wife is always like, you and your stories. So one day, I was playing. This was outside I think it was outside Mikos back home. Those who are familiar with Mikos in Blawayo. Now, my dad he drove a white pickup truck. And he said to me before he left, because I didn't like riding in the front. I like to ride in the dog section, the back there, because you get to hear the breeze and you get to misbehave without anyone telling you stop that. So I'll stand there in the back when the car is driving and the air is hitting me and I'm just like, yeah, I don't care. I'm just enjoying myself. And then we go to Mikkel's. He parks up and he says, just stay right there. I'll be right back.